think it's mainly because I think Gauntlet's actually like do extraordinarily well. Oh yeah,
okay.
no, they're in it. They're scrapping. They're scrapping. I think Gauntlet's what do you call it? If Megd were playing Val, I think he would play more decks.
Okay.
Because I think the sight into Gauntlets is kind of nice because you get to play around Endlight a lot based off of the Gauntlet side light. But since that's not the case, I think just taking the Caspian is actually a pretty smart idea.
Well, we'll see if he ends up feeling like this was a smart idea after that as we get into game number 1. Still in the round robin phase. Both of these securing a dub here would put them up in a good spot to get into the top 4 of things on the elimination side. That Sair hit, but Megd's hits harder.
And this is, so I remember being in the back a little bit with some of the players as they were watching some of the other sets unfold. And one thing that I heard, I believe it may have been Luna comment about, was that like, Megd will just not go off stage. Like, if he has a damage lead and you're coming back, he's so much more comfortable playing the corner guard game and waiting on stage and for you to come back and rinse repeating that interaction over and over than trying to go off stage and gimp you. That makes this very hard to find those reversal moments when you're going up against Megd. But despite that being said, Godly does manage to find a way.
I think it was you who told me yesterday that like the inclusion of wall slip really was kind of a buff for a lot of people, right? Like there's a lot of people who do prefer that kind of, I'm going to sit on the stage and watch your exclamation points tick up.
It really did. I think Megd benefited from that a lot. I think Impala also benefited from that a lot, where people really feel the amount of resources they have when they're off stage now. They have a little bit of time to play around, but if you wait too long, end up in a scenario like that where you're biding your time and you get caught by a down sig from Diamond Head. And just like that, Godly's able to go ahead and swing the favor of this match in his favor. We'll see if Megd can bring it back. Has the guitars in hand. We haven't really seen anything too wild from them thus far, but you get a neutral light, that's fine.
Yeah, Godly's fine with taking those kind of chips of damage. Of course, he's going to be hitting a little harder when he starts throwing out those 6. He was throwing out quite a few a second ago, but Megd with the read gets the recovery.
Wow, that was enough. That must have been the perfect amount of damage. I could have sworn that I saw him coming down for a second, but not quite.
Had just enough damage. That earlier damage that Godly took, maybe not worth it. But final stocks here in game number 1.
Oh, and that's going to be a recovery guaranteed because he dodged right before that neutral light. Good for Megd, and he got the recovery there.
Still touched.
What? Oh, he got it back there. He snuck it in somewhere at some point that I didn't see. He got to recovery again.
Yeah, he's been getting those wall touches just narrowly, but Megd is definitely getting that damage advantage. He just needs maybe one good dodge read at this point, and a recovery could KO. Oh, didn't read right.
Yeah, Megd one D-Light recovery away, goes for the side signature, but a perfect reaction from Godly to get out of that scenario. Gets caught by the side air though. Megd's gonna wait on stage. We just talked about this, right? He's not going to go over there. He said, I can beat you on the stage. I'm not gonna give you the opportunity to reverse me. But Godly's saying, I can win on stage too, bro. So don't, you know, keep all your eggs in one basket.
Whoa!
Oh, no way. What? Oh, Megd has to be thankful for that one.
Such an odd interaction. The downlight hit the wall, and then he went for a recovery. The dodge up through, but no turnaround. Megd likes to stay on stage. Both of them in the red. Godly wants his KO. He's swinging hard.
Okay, not enough. He's going to be able to grab a weapon. Megd gets the Sair. Is it enough? Not quite. Weapon throw doesn't hit. And he doesn't have enough. He doesn't have enough to make it back. Megd manages to get game 1, but that felt so sweaty by the end of it. I can't believe that was just game 1.
Yeah. The way that Megd like recognized the situation, final stocks deep red, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna stick to my guns. I'm gonna sit back here and wait for you to come at me. And the whole time, Godly was getting really aggressive. You can see he really wanted that finishing blow before things got out of hand. You saw him like chase with a ground pound. You saw him come back up immediately, side sig. You saw him really just hungry for that KO.
Yeah, honestly, doing that ground pound at that point in the match just really showed how confident of a player Godly is. It didn't connect, but that's surely one of the moves that guitar players don't like throwing out like that because it has so much end lag. It really can be punished, but Godly was confident that he wasn't going to get punished for it, or maybe just more confident that he thought it was going to hit. Either way, didn't take much damage and starting off immaculately in this next. Did you see how little end lag that had? He just went from a slide charge neutral sig into side air, what felt like almost seamlessly. That was some sick tech.
Basically doesn't care that he whiffs the end sig because it's just putting out a hitbox. Side sig connects, it will KO, and he's going to be sticking with Potentially gauntlets. No.
Nah. Okay, you know, I'm with it. I'm with it. So you know what? I think Enlight is just too good to pass up in neutral when you're like, oh, I just got a stock and I'm looking to wrap up damage. Oh, got the recovery and double. Back to back, he's gone. That's it. Megd has been obliterated on his second stock and now is behind by so much. Do you think he can bring this back, Duke, or are we going to have to just say, run it back and push it on to a 1-1 set here?
I think there is a world where Megd does it. I'd rather it just be like, let's run it back. But the world where he...
okay. Running it back. No,
that world's gone. that world got Thanos snapped. It is gone. It is now Godly who 3-stocked Megd to get this tied up 1-1.
Yeah, with double down sig from Caspian, no less. So that's like 6 shards of diamond inside of Asuri to send that one all the way to the blast zone. That's good. That's good. This set's going to be good. I'm a little worried for Megd based off of that game 2. Game 1 felt like he had to like really claw his way to secure that dub, and then game 2 felt like Godly just kind of like understood the way he needed to play, and like they haven't played before, and so like when I see that kind of adjustment happen like that, I start thinking, oh, is this about to be a 3-1, or was that just a bad showing from you, and then this next game is actually going to be a lot more close? That's what I want, but I don't know that it's going to happen. Godly looked very commanding in that game too.
I think in my interview with Godly, that was one of the things he pointed out about the round robin phase, is that like it is kind of a test of how quickly you can adapt, because you're doing so many best of 5s against so many different people. It is like you have to be able to adapt on the fly against the opponent you're specifically going up against, which with the amount of experience Godly has might be an advantage to him.
All right, well, we're going to find out here as Godly starts the game off by weapon starving Megd, and Megd subscribes to what I see. I haven't heard this from his mouth, but just as someone who has played with Hardy, MJ, and sparred with Hardy, they have like this idea where like when you're unarmed, you pretty much just throw out sidelight, like just unarmed sidelight or like neutral air for like punishes, because if you go for Enlight, you stand still for too long. If you go for sidelight, you're just still moving, right? You just want to make sure you're always moving. And so we saw Megd do some more of that just there, but did end up getting hit a decent amount, but the difference is you're getting hit versus getting punished, I think.
Oh! High in the sky, Godly with the side sig cleans up Megd's first stock. And it really feels like Godly's SIGs have just, he turned on the aimbot on them. He is just hitting them.
Oh man, Megd has been getting starved for so much of this game already, and Godly is just once again playing as aggressively as he was in the last game that we saw. Megd has to answer back, right? It's like a diss track has been dropped on Megd and everyone's waiting for him to respond, and I hope it's good. I don't want like a back-to-back.
We need his MGK moment, you know what
Yeah, exactly. Like something. Don't let it be a blowout. Your bars got to be strong. But right now, Godly's bars are just looking so much better. Oh my goodness.
Again, the side sig connects, throws out a third one, but Megd stays low this time, falling there. But Godly, I mean, these SIGs, it's what was talked about when Luna swapped to the Caspian, right? It's like one of the reasons you swap to the Caspian is this amazing signature kit.
Oh,
that hits!
So active. That is so active. Megd definitely thought the move was over. I was in agreement as well, but I mean, Brawlhalla doesn't lie. It said no. There was one more active frame, and Megd gets clapped up for it yet again on the verge of potentially getting 3-stocked by Godly. This is the exact kind of adaptation I was hoping would not happen to Megd so quickly, but Godly feels as if he has the download.
Yeah, I mean, this just looks so solid. Even if it isn't a 3-stock, like, I don't see a world right now where Godly loses this specific game.
Oh, jeez.
Where's the down stick? There it
is. You asked and we delivered. And now, I mean, at this point, Godly has such a lead, he can just mash the SIG button, right? And that's what he's doing. He's like, even if I get punished, it doesn't matter because I have so much to work with here. I'm forcing my opponent to respect the fact that I could just be throwing out a KO option at any moment. And at the end, he doesn't end up needing a signature. He just goes for the unarmed D-Light ground pound and has the easiest time burning through Megd. That's 2 games in a row now where it's been that dominant of a blowout.
This is like, if he 3-stocks 3 games in a row, that is such an anime moment to be like, okay, you had your game, you took game 1, and now it's time for me to show up. And just like really just absolutely obliterate Megd. And that could very well happen as we're getting ready to get into game number 4.
Definitely feeling like one of those moments where a side character has like a chance to do something cool, but since they're the side character, they don't get to get like the credit for KOing the final villain, and so they come in, do their cool thing, end up being KO'd for like 10 seconds, and then the actual protagonist comes in and like takes out the boss. That's what it feels like.
It's time for the protagonist moment. Or it's like where like the side character like does like a little bit of damage. It's like chip damage on the villain, and the villain's like, ha, that's funny. Now it's time to destroy.
Get one Destructo disc in, and then that's it. That's kind of, I don't want to equate Megd to Yamcha because he's definitely much more capable of a Z fighter than that. Krillin's better than Yamcha.
Yeah, but I thought Destructo disc was a Krillin.
Well, yeah, it is. It is. Yes.
I was like, Wolfang Fist is what he needs to throw out. But he's over to the Ember for game number 4, hoping that the Wolf of Ember might work out for him, as so far not quite the destruction from Godly yet.
Okay, let's see. We have seen the Megd Ember before, and it's like...
Oh!
Hold on.
Caught the movement?
Yeah, it's
oh,
more
that
than
was enough.
All right, cool. Yeah, no, the Megd Ember is legit. I'm happy to see the swap. I'm actually extremely happy that Megd has just been experimenting with more characters overall.
Yeah.
I felt like before it was just kind of like, all right, I'm a Suri or Val all day. But now we've seen more picks like the Jiro and the Ember come out and be very successful. And so hopefully this gives him the little juice that he needs, because clearly he had been figured out on the Yasuri before.
I mean, he's definitely publicly stated, like, sword is his favorite weapon. That's like the weapon he believes in the most. So to get rid of it means that, like, he has a lot of faith in his bow, or his Ember right now is he is kind of slapping away at Godly. Potential here to take another stock. Definitely no 3 stock here for Godly, at least.
Yeah, one of the weird things about this, nice. Yeah, that's super going to KO. I'm so glad they did that down tick. I was going to say, like, Ember's Qatar signatures aren't, like, the greatest. They're not bad. Side sig is, like, very solid, but really down sig has such a, like, high multiplier on it that you can get people in orange with it, and they'll be like, what? And it's like, yeah. Ember hits, bro.
Well, I mean, she's coming in 3 defense, so those defense points get spread across the rest of her stats. I very much remember a Megd bow, though. Like, a sidelight N-Sig used to be the thing for Megd.
Oh, I was scared there for a second, and Megd was too. He was like, is it still active? Asked the same question. Now Godly has us scared.
Okay. Caught him off the weapon toss. Doesn't get off the bounce there.
On the weapon throws, the Starving is going wild right now as Megd is looking for something. He's like, weapon, please spawn over here. Can I get to it? No, Godly gets there first, but he does actually manage to pick up Qatar. So no, everything is all good here as Megd, I mean, poised to take this to a game 5. Has Godly in the yellow. I'll feel more comfortable once he's in the orange. You know, then it's like, okay, I think you did enough. I think yellow is still within the realms of you feeling as if you can make a comeback.
Yeah, I think yellow is like roughly 50 damage, right? Which spread across 2 stocks is not the best showing from Megd on Godly's final stock. But you can see he's trying to slow it down, but the side sig again KOs that thing. Hits just hard enough.
I was like, I think Megd, did he go for a down air? It must have whipped right in front of it to get snagged like that, or maybe just have more priority. I don't know, but Megd definitely probably a little surprised by that one, thinking that maybe he was going to get a punish and end up being the one punished, but still has a lead. But look at him trying to hit Godly, finally managed to find one, gets the signature as well, and now this is the orange where Megd can start to feel a little bit more comfortable. As you were saying before, only 3 defense on Ember though, so didn't see what stance he took in the beginning, but
I think he, oh yeah, it's defense stance, so he's putting in,
got 4.
Going up to 4, yeah.
Okay.
Nair not going to quite KO for Megd.
Oh, goes for a neutral air, side sig, throws it out, careful with those dodges. Because now this is even. It don't look even, but this is even. You get side sig by Caspian in the corner, and you lose your stock here.
Oh, he throws away the weapons, though. Sair from Megd. Going to go for weapon denial. Wants to keep the bow, though. No down sig there on the corner.
I think bow and sig probably coming out soon here. If you got it, now's the time to use it.
D-Light Nair for the rest of the set.
Oh, there it is, but he doesn't get it to hit. Neutral air, misses the falling neutral air. He's just not getting his punishes.
Oh, he
what a read!
A neutral light's not going to quite KO the recovery.
Megd.
And Godly wins it out 3-1 over Megd.
Yes, Godly. The clutch factor has really been the difference today for a lot of sets. Luna has been clutch, and Godly has been clutch. Luna, clutch against S-Grape. Godly, clutch against Stingray. It's just like, there's these moments where Players are so close.